Hello, fellow Odooers. My name is Jose Ignacio. At Stealthywood, we love our products, and we want to make sure we always have them on hand. With our thriving business, we're constantly dealing with new vendors and changing prices. It's kind of awesome that we have so many options, but sometimes it can kind of be a hassle to try to sort through different prices and lead times and everything when we just want to order some products. Luckily, and this is always the case, Odoo's purchase app makes it easy with requests for quotations, or RFQ for my acronym lovers. Our ordering process is neatly organized, which means that we can track orders and products easily and efficiently. So I think it's time for me to say it, but enough chit chat. Let's hop into Stealthywood's purchase app just to see what RFQs are all about. So from our purchase app dashboard over here, we have an overview of our company's RFQs and purchase orders, or POs for my acronym lovers. So I can actually see the total number of all RFQs up here on the top left in these nice purple boxes. And we're going to go over those numbers in quite a few seconds. So at the top of the page, we also happen to have my RFQs in these nice little gray boxes right below them. So let's start with the far left, to send. So RFQs in the to send stage have not been sent to the vendor. RFQs, rightfully so in the waiting stage, have been sent by email but are waiting on vendor confirmation, and that's an important distinction right there. And finally, RFQs in the late stage is a sad stage because they have exceeded their order deadline. So enough of that. Let's talk about more things on this dashboard. Now, the Purchase app dashboard also has a handy summary of our orders. So we can actually have our average order value calculated over here automatically for us. Our average purchase lead time, which is right below it. And that's how many days it will take to receive our orders. We also happen to have the total dollar amount that we've purchased in the last week, and many of those RFQs we've been sending in the last week. So like I said, we love our products, love them. And so I think it's time for us to order one of those. So let's get started with that. So to create a new RFQ, we're going to actually click on the new button in the top left corner. And here we have it, our new RFQ form. So we're going to start by assigning a vendor. We have quite a few that we trust, but today let's order from our contact, Tad Wallaby, very real name at Azure Interior. And it happens to be the first one that I can select. That was by magic, I kid you not. So from here, we also have the option to add a vendor reference right beneath it. And what is that? Well, this points to the sales and delivery order numbers sent by the vendor. So let's type in what ours are. And I am 100% making this up as I go. Follow along with me. Okay, now this is going to come in handy once that we receive our products and we need to match our PO to the delivery order. So next, we also need an order deadline because I like to be punctual. So our calendar is going to be set to 1 week from today, 7 days. It's good enough time. This is super important because it gives the vendor a due date to confirm their agreement to send us our products. And then we have this last field, expected arrival. So the order's expected arrival, well, it's blank right now. But once that we start adding our products to the RFQ, it's going to be automatically calculated based on the order deadline as well as the vendor lead time. So both of those two things. This is also the vendor's promised delivery date of when we can expect to receive our order. So now that we have all of that vendor info, I think it's time for us to start adding those products. So let's go over to the products tab. So let's start by selecting add a product. And what do we want to order today? Well, I actually don't know. So let's select our drop down over here and decide on what we want. We can start typing or we can select that little arrow. So today I think we should be ordering one of my favorites, which happens to be the teakwood table right there. I'm going to select that now. We also happen to have special pricing from Azure Interior. If I order 12 tables or more, our unit price happens to be $100. And if you don't believe me, well, I'm going to change this to 1 right there. Would you look at that? I'm not a liar. And it happened to change on its own. Unit price went up. But lucky for us, I somehow need exactly 12 of these tables. So let's go back and change that right over there. So because Odoo's apps are all connected, I can also click on this teakwood table that we have right here. And then we have this nice little arrow right there, which happens to be an internal link that appears to open its product page. Now I'm going to go in there real quick. I'm just checking to make sure I have the absolute best pricing with Azure Interior. So right now we're going to head aptly so to the purchase tab over there. And I can view and edit the different vendors that supply our products. And yeah, I mean, looking at this, we're still going to go with Azure Interior. But how do I get back, Odooers? Well, we can actually just head back using our breadcrumbs. So we're going to click back on that new SW1 that we had over there. And we're back over here to our RFQ. And this is great. And now we have our newly entered vendor reference still here present, and it even shows us that right there. So now back over here to the products tab, we can also create new products to order if needed. Let's say I just happen to get off the phone with my buddy over there at Azure Interior, and he gave me some insider information on a sweet new chair that would probably go perfect with this table. All I have to do is click add a product once again, and this time he tells me it's going to be called the teakwood chair. I know what you're thinking. Wow, it's very phenomenal. So now, would you look at that? Well, actually, I'm going to go back to that. If you notice from that drop-down menu that we saw right there, we also had the option where if we had started typing, we could create an edit, and it also reveals a create product pop-up window where I could add even more detail to the newly created product as well. So in our case, I think it's time for us to create a small ancillary product for our Teakwood collection. So let's look at all of these that we have right now. So in our case, I think it's time for us to, once again, add a product. And then in this case, we need to do the teakwood lamp. And then this time, we're going to add a little bit more to this one. I'm going to call this one lamp 2. So I'm going to select create and edit. And I'm going to show you why. Actually, let's make this one teakwood white lamp, just to match a little bit of what I have going on here as well. So from this pop-up window, I can configure my new product, just like a normal product page. For instance, I can add a cost for my lamp by typing in my case, well, this happens to be $30. That's what it's going to cost us. And then I could adjust these other fields as well as if I want, but in my case, I'm just going to click save and close for now. So once that I did that, my buddy also gave me a special code that I can use to order brand new products. So I'm going to add that info by clicking on add a note right there below. And look at that. It happens to be what I want to start typing. So we're going to do use code. In my case, he told me it's Teak for life with very good spelling right there. So for products, I can manually fill out the quantity and unit pricing on the product line. But for example, inside of the Teakwood chair product line that we have right there, if I wanted to, I can actually just type in 36 into the quantity field. And then I can go over here to the other one, which happens to be our unit price. And I can type in 50 right there. And we can just do this directly. So now that I'm done filling in my products, this RFQ is ready to send. So let's go send that. So we actually have a few options on how to send our RFQ over to our vendor. If we click on the send by email button that we have at the top, Odoo opens a compose email window with a handy template that has all of my order info, and it's building up a PDF right there that my order already exists and it's already loaded right there. And all I'd have to do now is just click on the word send right there. But let's click out of this one right there. So we're just going to click out. And let's see what happens when I hit a different button. So clicking the print RFQ button in this case, well, you guessed it, it's printing out my RFQ right now. So from here, once that it loads that, I'm going to click on that right there. And it's already downloaded, actually. That happened automatically, which is really nice on my Windows side of things. So then I need to print this out, and I think I'm going to have to hand it over to Ted. And wouldn't you know it, Ted approved it. Great. So that means that now when we click on confirm our order over there, this turns the RFQ into an active purchase order or PO. Now notice how the order now says purchase order as well. And we happen to have a very nice thing up at the status bar. It's changed the purchase order portion at the end as well. And that's always like really nice to see up there in the top. So on the new PO, the order deadline as well, if you notice over here, it changes now to a confirmation date, which is the date and time that we confirm the order. So now that our products are on the way, and because we already have the inventory app installed, Odoo set up our next step for us, which happens to be receiving the products as well, which I just did. So Azure Interior has lightning quick delivery, so I can actually go ahead and also validate this over there. And then I can receive my tables and my chairs. Now this tells Odoo that the products have been received into the inventory and it's Teakwood time. And that's your first RFQ. Thanks for exploring the Purchase app with me today. I'm going to go check out my new tables and chairs, but I'm going to see you next time, Odooers. Go grab a snack.